everyone, how is it going? We're doing a live makeup demonstration today. This is going to be a cosplay makeup for Ian Lightfoot from Disney's Onward. If you haven't seen it, he is an elf with blue skin, pointy ears, blue hair. He and his brother go on a quest to bring back their father using some magic. At the beginning of the movie, they succeed halfway and bring back the lower half of his body, his legs, and they want to bring back the rest of his body. So, whenever I do a cosplay makeup or any makeup design, I like to just be wearing a casual shirt, something that is easy to wash, and not the actual costume that I will be wearing because I don't want to get makeup on it. We have a blue wig for today's design. Since he has pointy elf ears, I have these elf ears. And I originally saw these at a Renaissance festival a few years ago. They were leather, and I looked up online trying to find them. And found these silicone ears on Amazon. They just slip over your ears. You don't have to glue them on, and I find that they stay in place just fine. As long as you're not doing cartwheels or something. So for today's makeup, we're using Mayron makeup. I have some clown white. I have some blue. I have black and red. The tools I like to use, mostly my fingers. I also have some makeup brushes. Occasionally we'll need some Q-tips, a slightly damp paper towel just to clean off my face initially and clean any of the makeup off my hands as I go along. And then I have Johnson's baby powder to powder it at the end. This is their talc-based powder, not their cornstarch. So yeah, let's get started. So the Mayron blue is a fairly dark color. I want him to be a lot lighter, so we're going to be mixing our colors, some blue and some white. And for this design, I need enough makeup to cover my face, my ears, my neck. We're not going to worry about my hands and arms, that if I was doing a cosplay photo shoot, I would be wearing gloves or something on the hands so you don't see the skin tone of my flesh tone hands next to the blue makeup. So what I like to do is use one of the makeup brushes and then scoop out some of the makeup onto the back of the brush and put it on the back of my hand. This will be my palette to work from. This keeps the makeup container clean. Then not just keep on sticking my finger back into the makeup every time. So clean off the brush and then scoop out some blue. We'll start with about that much just to begin with, see how that goes color-wise. And then I just mix the two colors together. And if I want, I can add more white to lighten it or more blue to darken it. That's probably a fairly decent shade to start with, and I can add highlights and shadows in using more blue or white later on. So this, whenever I'm doing a makeup that's going to cover my whole face, I just sort of dive right in and just use my hand and take a bunch of makeup and start smearing it all over. And since I'll be wearing a wig, I don't have to worry about getting exactly into my hairline. It'll be covered up by the wig. At this point, neatness doesn't really matter because I want the makeup everywhere. Now I know a lot of cosplayers prefer water-based makeups, the Paradise line of Mayron, or maybe the Wolf Brothers makeup. But I like using the theatrical grease paint makeup. It lasts all day. It's what historically like clowns have used in the circus and actors have used on the stage. And once you powder it, it can stay in place. You don't have to worry that much about sweating the makeup off and having it smear. And if I'm going to go out all day, I will bring extra powder and repowder it a few times during the day. So take a bathroom break and powder your makeup. Just to get the colors to set again. This makeup is oil based, and using baby powder will pull the oils out of the makeup and leave just the color behind. And if you have oily skin as you sweat throughout the day, you release oils onto your face, and that can reactivate the makeup. And just powdering it a second time will just add a little bit more, take the oils away so that the makeup can last a little bit longer. And also, like if you eat a hamburger or something, or fried chicken, that the greases of the food around your mouth can also activate the makeup. So you just have to be a little bit more careful when you eat, that you don't wipe all the makeup away. Yeah, as you see, it goes on fairly quickly when you're doing full coverage. And I've got a fairly opaque layer that you don't see my flesh tone shining through. And with grease paint, you can put too much on, but as you can see that I'm rubbing my hand into the makeup, so that would pick up any area that has too much and spread it into an area that has less. And depending on like what costuming you go wear, will determine how low on your neck and shoulders to go. So you don't see that flesh color gap. If I was just going to wear the shirt, you'd see, well, there's pink there. But for this cosplay, I'll have a plaid button-down shirt that should cover. And then a technique that I learned from the clowning around is when you get the makeup mostly distributed, you just pat it, and that will again help even it out so you don't have creases and ridges. So now I can clean my hand off a bit. Use a dry towel. Now at this point it's pretty well just one flat color. I like to have a little bit of highlights and shadows on it, just to make the colors a little bit, design a little bit more lifelike. So I'll go back to the blue and just scoop out just a tad bit more, so I can have now the pure blue, the darker blue, to add in some shadow. And usually light comes from above, so areas around the eyes are usually a little bit darker. The tops of your cheek and the nose are lighter. Your eyebrows are a little bit lighter. The bottom half of your face might be a little bit darker. So those could be the places I usually try to darken and lighten. And since the makeup hasn't set, it just sort of blends into the original layer of makeup. And I'm not trying to do too severe of a highlight or shadow. Just enough to give it a little bit more definition. Now I could do the same thing with adding just a touch of white to a few of the areas to lighten them up a little bit further. So just take a scoop of white and just find another spot to put it on my hand. In places like the bridge of your nose, and your eyebrows will be a little bit more defined. Tops of your cheeks. Maybe a little on the chin. And then he has a little bit of a blush, so a little pink color, a few spots. So just take a dab of red. And he's got a little pink on his nose. And then a little bit on his cheeks. Now I can give him some freckles, and I just use the tip of the brush. Then he's got some black brows. So just take a little bit of the black makeup. Again, just add a little bit to my hand. And I like to usually put the eyebrows above my natural eyebrows just a bit. And then while I have the black makeup out, I could do some eyeliner. And then I'll usually use it to color my lip. And I usually just color, for male characters, I just do the lower lip. And again, that's something that I just learned from clowning around, that a lot of clowns just color their lower lip, unless they're doing the kissy lips. And that's about it for what this makeup needs. And at this point, I usually, before I powder the makeup, I just check to make sure it's all smooth. That every time I blink, every time I talk, every time I raise my eyebrows, I can get creases in the makeup, and that will create ridges. So it's good to just sort of go over it, just make sure that it's evened out. Then I can clean the makeup off my hand. And take the baby powder, and I put it in just a Rubbermaid container, and I have this nice fluffy makeup brush puff, and I just sprinkle it on. Trying to get some powder everywhere. And then after I get the first coat of powder, I'll use another powder brush and just press the powder into the makeup, making sure I'm getting all the oils removed. Being sure to focus on the creases in the eyes and around the nose and mouth. And at this point the makeup is set, but I have extra powder. And I use a soft brush. This is a brush for babies. It's got, I think, goat hair. It's just a soft brush, and it's gentle on the face. And it can remove the excess powder. And the makeup is set. It's not going to go anywhere. And at this point I could use some eyeshadow and further enhance any of the colors, any of the areas I think that need to be a little lighter, a little darker. But yeah, so this is the makeup design. After I'm all cleaned up, I'll put the wig on, I'll put the ears on, I'll put on the costume, and I'll be ready to go. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I hope you learned something watching my makeup demonstration. So until next time, see you later, alligator. After a while, crocodile. Thanks for watching.